Yo, what's happening? This is Apex 3900, and today I would like to talk about Et tu Brutus. Hold on, real quick. Give me a quick second. Give me just a quick second. Gotta do some sound checking real quick because I got this, so what you call it, playing in the background. Oh, come on now. Come on now. There it is. There it is. Mic check. Okay. Looks like my audio is coming through just fine. Just fine. What I want to talk about today is, hold up, hold up, is, matter of fact, let me just, I'll close that out. And you know what? It's cool. What I want to talk about today is betrayal. And I have a story for you. This shit, bruh, Hollywood movie writers couldn't even make this shit up. Really couldn't, bruh. I'm not even gonna give y'all the whole story because I would literally go back to my childhood. I'm talking mid '90s type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to say too much because I don't want to divulge the gentleman's identity because one of my friends from back home is sub to me on my channel. Shout out to you, bruh. Shout out to you. But I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. If you fellas out there are dabbling in magic, be careful. Be very, very careful. You understand? Because you see, I'm a clairvoyant. I was born this way. You know, I was born this way. So I've been cultivating my shit, whether consciously or subconsciously since I was born. You know what I mean? And what happens is people will come into the spiritual realm or come into, the magic, and they'll get seduced by it. They'll get seduced by it. You know, this is why the scriptures say, don't practice divination. Don't um, don't talk to, like, diviners and shit. Fortune tellers and psychics and shit, because it's not so much that it's bad per se, but our understanding of that shit as a species. I'm talking about the human race. Not even talking about any ethnicity or anything, but for the most part, the average, their understanding of it, their grasp of it is minuscule. It's kind of like giving a child a firearm. You know what I mean? I have a childhood friend of mine. Mm, I might say his name one day. He died in the fifth grade because himself and apparently another friend of his, they were playing with a gun, and the gun went off, and he got shot through his left cheek, and it went up in his brain, and he died. And my father was a CSI police officer for the KCPD, so he was on the case. And I remember him telling me that, Buddy died before he hit the ground. That's how it is when you're dealing with magic and people's low understanding of the shit. You know what I mean? Like, like you either have to be born into it. And what I mean by that, you already have to be born with certain abilities, you know what I'm saying, and certain gifts and shit. You know what I mean? And then you can be brought along slowly. You know what I mean? Or even if you're not born with certain abilities, let's say I myself I got 10 spiritual or i.e. Magical talents, right? But you're only born with one. You know what I mean? In order for you to like maneuver in that realm, you would have to be groomed from birth and taught. Kind of like Harry Potter and Hogwarts and shit. You would have to go through a curriculum similar to that because you can really get yourself fucked up. You really can, you know, because and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've always managed to stay away from fortune tellers, and it's not because I'm scared of it. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of it. I mean, back when I was a kid, dealing with them white girls in the suburbs and shit. Some of them would be into like palm reading and shit. And I had this one chick read my palm. And what was funny, she was reading my palm and she looked at it and she said, "Oh, I see here you're going to have like a life threatening event later on in life where you're nearly going to die." And guess what happened in 2018? I'm in fucking ICU for a month, clinging to life. you know? But the reason why people shouldn't do that is because I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you use like fortune tellers to tell the future, they they can't give you a vivid play by play analysis of the events and how they transpire and why said events transpire. They can't do it. They can only tell you that like they'll tell you, right, your girlfriend's gonna break up with you, right? Or your fiance is gonna divorce you, right? So okay, you got this in the back of your mind. I mean, or your wife's gonna divorce you. Sorry. So you got this in the back of your mind. You're like, damn, I don't want to lose my girl. I don't want to lose my wife. And you invariably uh, set things in motion that inevitably dissolves the relationship. You see what I mean? Now, had you not known that shit, had you not went to the fortune teller and got your fortune told, you would have just operated as usual. It'd have been business as usual, and you possibly could have kept your wife. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you try too hard. Like it's kind of like the Chinese finger trap. You know, or the harder you grasp something, the more it wants to get away. You know what I mean? So I had this particular friend of mine. I won't say he's a loose associate now, but at one point in time, him and I were very good friends. Very good friends. And he told me one time, we were just talking shit, right? We were just talking shit, playing Madden. This is before online gaming, so we all had to meet up at a spot and actually play Madden and sit there and fucking call next on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? It's way back in the day, man. So we talking, me and him, we about to square off, right? Excuse me. Just woke up about an hour or so ago, man. I get into that later. But so we get on the sticks and he's riffing, talking his shit. Man, I went to the fortune teller and the fortune teller told me that Benjamin, you ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win. The fortune teller lady told me you ain't gonna win. So, the way he said it, he was semi joking. He said it in jest a little bit, but there's a lot of truth said in jest. So this guy, and this was like back in high school. Hey, JB, don't say shit, man. Don't say shit, bro. Don't say shit, big bro. Don't say shit, cause you probably know who I'm talking about. Don't say shit in the chat. And don't say shit to old boy. And don't say shit to none of the guys either. But anyway, you probably will anyway, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So as we go on, right, living our lives, we get out of teenage years, we get, and matter of fact, now if I say this, you for sure gonna know who I'm talking about, JB. But the night where I had them guys fucking run down on us and point the blammies at us and shoot at us and shit, he was driving. I was in the passenger seat. This nigga was driving like Suge Knight, and I'm in the passenger seat like fucking Tupac, bruh. And I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but this particular gentleman been hating on me for a while. Now that I think back on it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was kind of strange how out of nowhere I don't know these dudes. I don't know them, and now they're pointing guns at me. It kind of makes me think: did he go to a witch, not just a fortune teller lady? Because you have some witches who really are on the left path, the left-handed path with this shit. So I'm like, did he get tapped in with a witch on the left-handed path? And she told him some shit. Well, if you sacrifice Benjamin, you know your powers will rise exponentially. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, I know some guys. I know some guys. Or he could have paid her to set those things in motion so that, he can line me up and get me sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? Like this is some real shit. This is some real shit, man. Hold up. Because I look at the gentleman now, and I mean, you see my face right there. I'm what, 37, 36, 37, 38 years old? Bruh, if you didn't see the gray hairs that I have on my face, or the gray hairs that I have on my head, or the gray, if you didn't see any of my gray hairs, period, I could easily pass for a 25, 26, 27-year old. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've aged well because for the most part, I tried my best to stay away from the left-handed path. And if I did utilize some left-handed tactics against individuals, it was in a response. It was me responding and defending myself from their, spiritual skullduggery. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I was never the type of, for lack of a better term, sorcerer or warlock. I don't identify as either, you know. But I will say, just to put it in its proper context so you understand, you know, I wasn't the type of warlock or sorcerer who preyed on the innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like you have covens out here where you have a group of witches slash warlocks. They'll line up somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody who's naive, and they'll feast off of this particular person's energy, whether they be male or female. You know what I mean? They'll befriend them, bring them into the circle. Everybody else is in on a joke, but the guy whom they're feasting off of. You know what I'm saying? So they'll utilize him. They'll utilize the schmuck as a tool to exploit, and they'll use magic and means by way of exploiting him. And one of those things are like sex magic. You know what I'm saying? So you have a homie, right? He might see that you got light, right? That your light is shining brighter than his. So what he'll do is he'll bring a bitch through and be like, yeah, I'm bringing this bitch through, so we can fuck on him, right? He'll let you fuck first. You think he doing you a solid, like, damn, you let me fuck first, huh? All right, cool. You got the bitch and now you let me hit first? Too easy, man. You the truth, G. You might think he doing you a solid, but really he wants you to fuck her first so you can deposit your light or a piece of your light into her. Then he can come back on the back end when it's his turn and siphon your light off of her. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And make no mistake about it, this dude in the crew, he was always setting bras out. You know what I'm saying? This nigga stayed bringing hoes through. You know what I mean? If y'all would know how many females we and the guys did a demonstration on, I'm just gonna call it a demonstration. Now, me personally, I wasn't into the whole what you call it, threesome thing. Where we tag team a bitch. I wasn't into that. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, I remember one time we had this one BZ. You know what I'm saying, that we set out. And the guys put me on first. So she's sucking me up in the car. We at the park and shit, right? I got the seat laid back. I look over, you know what I'm saying? My other two homies, they looking through the window and shit. And I kind of felt some type of way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a private person, you know what I'm saying? It took me how long to even show this much of myself, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube, even though I divulge certain experiences about myself in real life. You know what I mean? I make sure I put proper barriers in between myself and the public. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a very private person in a sense. So I kind of felt it wasn't like the, it wasn't like an insecurity on my part. You know what I'm saying? It was more like a boundary issue for me. You know what I'm saying? And I pushed through it like a trooper. I felt kind of uneasy about it, but I was like, fuck it, y'all niggas want to watch. Hey, cause I ain't even finna say that. I ain't finna say that. But I will say I done watched a couple homies get down on some bitches and shit. But I ain't gonna get into all that shit, man. But yeah, it's this is just speculation. This is just speculation. But this particular gentleman, I believe, and I'm on good authority, but I believe that he tapped in with a witch early, like when we were in high school, like his freshman, sophomore year, probably his sophomore year, because that's probably, when he got his vehicle and was able to, leave and, go down to the city and shit on his own. You know what I mean? Because he got his driver's license. It was probably something like that. You know what I'm saying? So this nigga been at this shit for 2 decades now. So he probably was fucking with that shit back then. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it's not lost on me that teenagers will start dabbling in magic and shit. You know what I mean? Like my high school sweetheart, she was dealing with this girl. She was dealing with this chick, and I think she was like a white chick or something. But they took her group took her back into the woods and shit. And they had like a little ritual in the woods and shit. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, I believe homie got tied in to a left-handed witch. You know, and the thing is, this is the seduction of magic. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ever did some sort of magic, if you've ever done it and then later you see that that shit works, it'll fool you because you like, oh my God, I got superpowers. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, I got superpowers. You feel me? And so you you can get on a slippery slope and become an abuser of that shit. You know what I mean? And then you do a negative incantation on somebody, and then something happened to them, and then you like, ooh, I got superpowers. Now fast forward 3 4 months later, now you doing evil incantations on everybody who offends you in the slightest. You know what I'm saying? Then you can really spin your wheels and burn yourself out. That's how you become a burnout. You know what I mean? Because you get seduced by it, and then you just find yourself just every day, or every weekend, just you done or you throughout the week you done made a whole list of every motherfucker that done offended you, and then on Saturday or Sunday, here you are spending 5 6 7 8 9 hours at the house cooped up, you know, doing this evil incantation to try to put some shit on everybody who's offended you throughout the week. You know what I mean? Like that, it becomes time consuming. It's draining in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's seductive. You know. So I believe he got seduced by this left-handed witch. This is just a speculation. I know this is going off into the weeds. To whom it resonates with, if this edifies you in any way, hey, get my likes up, man. Put some respect on my stream. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But forever from whoever it may concern, you know. So I believe this brother got seduced by the left-handed path and got greedy. Got greedy. Instead of playing the Pippin to my Jordan, he wanted to be the man. And I speculate, this is solely speculation, but I speculate he tried to get me sacrificed to siphon massive amounts of power from me so that he can set himself up to be the man. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, you're not tapped into the source. Let's say for instance, let's say you did manage to sacrifice me, and you did manage to, take my life force essence and shit, and put it into yours, and then after that, you hit the ground running, and with as far as success is concerned, you still gonna have to pay for that. You understand that, right? You're gonna have to pay for that. You're gonna have to pay for that. Not only are you gonna have to pay for it, but it's not yours. It's not yours. So you'll probably have maybe at best maybe a good 10-year run. But eventually, my essence gotta return to me. So even if I'm in the spiritual, you can't have my power in perpetuity because it's not yours, nigga. It's mine's. It's mine's. So you have a 10-year run, and then once that glow wear off, oh yeah, here come judgment, and you gotta pay your debts because you owe, motherfucker. You owe. I mean, but shit, you could have had a good run though. You could have had a good run. Could have had a good run. Now I was on TikTok, right, and I don't know how in the fuck I found this shit. And I'm not even into that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done magic, I've, read up on magic and shit, things like that. But I've made it a point to kind of stay away from fortune tellers and psychics like that and shit, you know. So I don't know what made me click on this live stream. I have no idea. I just was compelled to do it, and I clicked on it, right? And this gal, she telling me my whole fucking life story as far as the last 6, 7 years are concerned, and I'm fucking blown away. I am blown away. I'm like, she talking about me. She talking about me, my baby mama. Now this was like earlier in the month. This was like 2.5 weeks ago. Tell me why I'm up on my phone editing. Matter of fact, I was editing this picture that you see in the avatar. I'm editing the picture and shit. Tell me why a notification for her pops up again. And she keeps talking about this shit. She keeps going back into it and pulling out more details about the shit. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm learning that, as far as my baby mother is concerned, it was a third party involved, you know. Then on top of that, it was possibly, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 additional things involved. And then, with my own intuition, I was able to, kind of piece things together in my mind. And I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this nigga is, he's in a coven. He's in an entire coven. And the lady told me last night, some of these people I know, some of these people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it could be multiple homies of mine who done sat up here and collaborated with this guy to put evil on me and to siphon energy from me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just him. He's not just doing this shit by himself. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and call that a day. I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough. Et tu, Brute? Like, you didn't even, okay, when you went to the fortune teller and the fortune teller told you I was gonna be who I am, like it didn't ever cross your mind to be like, well, let me just get close to this brother and tap in with him, on the right hand side of things, and then, eventually, his success will overflow and spill onto me. You know what I mean? Because, nigga, my cup runneth over, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's your ego, man. That's your ego. So you want to be the man. It's not good enough for you to get next to the man and get glowed up the right way. No, you want to be the man. You want to be me. Well, what Eddie Kane told Flash Gordon, how's it feel to be me? So yeah, for the young boys out there coming up, man, be careful. Watch your friends that always want to bring these bitches around for y'all to fuck on. You know what I'm saying? He could be into that shit to where he's trying to utilize sex magic to garner some of your energy. Is it a bad thing necessarily? No. It all depends on the person's intention. You know what I'm saying? I'm up early because old girl last night, she told me he was gonna do something to this person or persons. It was gonna do something to try to astro project, these particular curses into my life. And I had a bad dream last night. And I'm talking about I'm sweating. I'm having cold sweats and shit. I'm waking up every 30 minutes, taking the covers off, putting the covers back on and shit. And I had a bad dream. You know what I'm saying? For real. I ain't gonna hold you. So I woke up, did some reflection and shit, you know. Oh yeah, another thing, God got some good news before I go. My baby mama and I were reconciling. not reconciling in the sense that we're gonna get back together, because I don't see that happening and going forward. You know what I'm saying? But as far as strengthening her and I's relationship as co-parents, I believe we're moving in the right direction to that. Because let me say this: I've said a lot of mean things about my baby mama here on YouTube. I have, and I had to apologize. I apologized to her. You know, probably what 30, 45 minutes ago through the text, because when I woke up, she crossed my mind, so I just texted her and let her know. Woo, 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 which is fine, you know. But I'm not one of these guys who, even though I did say a lot of foul shit about my baby mama, I'm not. Hey man, go ahead and tap in with the comment section. Let me know who you are. But even though I did say a lot of mean things, and I did some underhanded shit to her in response. Let me clarify that. In response to how she came at me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not one of these toxic motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? If I get into a relationship with a Beezy, like, I'm not trying to mind fuck her and just be as toxic as I possibly can, just to try to get some advantage over her in some shape, form, or fashion. That's not me. I think, as the saying goes, love conquers all. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna treat the BZ that I'm fuck with. I'm gonna treat her right. You know what I mean? I know the word around town is that you gotta dog them out and treat them like a piece of shit. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I believe you can mind fuck them and have them and keep them within your retinue for a certain period of time. But moving forward in perpetuity, you will not be able to form long lasting connections with these females. But with me, I got females on my horn that I've been knowing since the 90s that I've dealt with, and I've dealt with them in a good way to where, you know, they just can't get enough. They giving me the hey big head text. Since this year, I done had two uh, former dalliances of mine give me the hey big head. And over the past 6 or 7 years, nigga, forget about it. I can fucking start a whole goddamn NBA basketball team with that lineup. How many hey big heads I done got? You know what I'm saying? Females in my inbox apologizing, writing 2, 3, 4, 5 long paragraph messages in my goddamn messenger, confessing, how sorry they are and the way that they treated me. Oh, I'm so sorry, Benjamin, and this and that. And I'm just like, bitch, I'm not reading all this shit, man. You done wrote a whole goddamn dissertation. Hold on real quick, cause I think I'm gonna rap a little bit more about this. Let me put these earbuds in. But I'm like, bitch, you done wrote a whole goddamn college dissertation like you trying to get your PhD or something. Like, okay, back in middle school, you was on some fool shit. You thought you was hot shit, and you actually realized that I'm that nigga. I'm that nigga. Yes, I am. He is I, and I am him. Matter of fact, hold on, I want to listen to that shit. That shit was too funny, G. When I seen that shit on TikTok, oh girl said, "You are not him." Oh look. Too funny. I told her, "Bitch, I'm him. Quit playing." Let me see if I got some water too. Oh shit, I got some. Yep, too easy. Oh yeah, I got a little bit left. I like to drink. I like to drink my water out of a Hennessy bottle. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the short bottle or the big fifth, I like to drink my shit. I don't know. It's just that's just some fly gangster shit to me. I think that's fly. I think that's some fly shit. I don't know why. Man, I'm out of coffee too. I'm so upset about that. I woke up and was like, man, let me get this coffee. I put the damn filter in the thing, and then I opened the other cabinet, and I'm like, oh hell no. I'm mad as hell, G. It's all good though, cause once the shop at open, I'm gonna go get me some iced coffee. I like iced coffee, cause shit, I run hot. You know what I mean? If I fuck around sometimes in the morning, like if I take a hot shower and then I drink some hot coffee, man, I walk from here to the parking lot and I'm sweating. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. So I like to drink that iced coffee. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna be drinking all of y'all ear and shit. Oh shit, I can just mute up. Oh yeah. I told a bitch I'm him quit playing. Understand me? Shit, this what 03:30? Shit, I could probably go do some laundry too. No, I ain't gonna fuck with him good. I told a bitch I'm him quit playing. But what was I? What was I? Yeah, he got seduced, man. Oh yeah, and another thing, bro. Why y'all don't want to be fucking with this magic shit necessarily? If you not, adept on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a clairvoyant and you don't need, but you don't necessarily need formal training by a master. You know what I'm saying? It will be good for you to do so. You don't necessarily need it, but it will service you well to bring out your full potential and shit, right? And not just necessarily magic shit, but just being adept on the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not a clairvoyant, bro, and you just ain't got it, but you want to get into it, you better get a trusted a master that can raise you up right. If not, you be running around here reckless. You know what I'm saying? And getting your judgment and shit. Because the thing was, he was probably fucking around with this left-handed witch and shit. And she kind of did him like, like how crack dealers do. You know how they do. They want to seduce a knock or a cluck or whatever, a potential customer or whatever. So what they'll do is, let's say this particular crackhead has already been smoking crack, right? So he just trying to win over the customer just by taking them. So what he'll do is he'll give said customer a rock for free. The cluck will walk up on the dude and be like, "Hey, you working?" And you ain't never been in the hood and had that G persona. If you ain't never had a crackhead run up on you and ask you if you working, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? And you gotta be like, "Nah, G, I don't fuck around." But he probably go up to him and be like, "Hey, you working?" And he like, "Yeah, man, I'm working, but I'm almost out right now, cause especially if he on some hand to hand shit, so he out. He not in the trap house like the niggas outside with it. You know what I'm saying? In the trenches, wiggling, busting serves. You know what I'm saying? I got some stories about that. The shit I seen back home, shit's fucking crazy. I ain't even go. I'm gonna watch what I say, but you know, he'll be like, "Hey though, but I got this last little piece on me. I gotta shake the spot. I live on the other side of town. I ain't trying to ride with it. So, hey, here you can have it. But hey though, tap back in with me. I'll be back tomorrow." So he give him a sample of the product, right? He go back to his TP. The cluck is like, "Oh shit, man, Youngin hooked me up. Okay, too easy." He go off in his little den and smoke his little rock. And then the next day he come back because oh boy, he figures in his mind, oh boy did a kind gesture to him by giving him that little sample rock. You know what I mean? It could have been a fat rock too, like 20, you know what I'm saying, something stupid and really sent that nigga to the moon, you feel me? So he'll come back the next day, he see him out there the next day. Now he charging. He was like, hey, the first one was for free. I gotta make a living. I ain't doing this shit for nothing. So now he got a customer. And I think this left-handed witch did utilize them same tactics on old boy. See, she a hood chick for real. She a hood chick for real. Probably got some brothers that sell dope. You know what I mean? Probably done had some boyfriends who sold dope or sell dope. So she got the game from them. And voila, literally voila, it's like magic. She probably hooked them up with some shit, turned them out, and now he just kept coming back. For 2 decades, coming back, not knowing the consequences of his actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for that. You owe, nigga. You owe. You owe. Your ass owe. For real. Because old girl last night, she was telling me, well, she was telling her live stream, but she was telling my story. She was telling me that this nigga been using a left-handed witch to try to put death spells on me. Like the nigga trying to kill me, bruh, with this magic shit. And it's real too. It's real. It's real. But see, here's the thing, right? And I said this last night on or yesterday. Yeah, no, I said it last night on my the Life of a Clairvoyant stream, where I talked about the last past 7 years have been just crazy. I mean, 2014, a childhood friend of mine, who is also a childhood friend of this particular gentleman, dies. Then my cousin dies. And then my father dies. And then another childhood friend of ours gets murdered in broad daylight, dies. And then on top of that, I have a life threatening condition that damn near kills me. All while being in a tumultuous relationship with my baby mama where I could have killed her or she could have killed me or had her little brother run down on me and shit or had her daddy come see about me and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's been fucking crazy, bro. Like if I so if it's any Hollywood writers out there or something, nigga, get on my line. My email's in the description. Holler at me. We need to make this a movie. You feel me? But I'm playing me though, cause can't nobody do me like I do me. You know what I'm saying? This shit, I might write a book. To be honest with you, Might write a book. This shit is some fucking. I appreciate it though. I appreciate it, brother, for all the hate. I appreciate all the hate, man. Cause you gave me a hell of a story to tell, man. You know what I'm saying? I learned some wise lessons, man. Learned some wise lessons. And I'm, with this wisdom moving forward, I'll be able to lace my son with some things that my father failed to teach me. You know what I'm saying? Because my father was a clairvoyant too, but he understood that he couldn't just lay it on me like that. You know what I'm saying? It was some things where my father's tactic was he would tell me something, he would tell me to do something or not to do something, and if I didn't listen, he would just be like, "Okay, okay." But I always took heed to what he said. What he said was always in the back of my mind, whether he told me to do something or not do something, and if I disobeyed. And eventually, what he said came true. I would come back to him and be like, "Pops, you were right." And he's just like, "I know, son. I know. I know." But yeah, yeah, nigga, you you got a blood debt, man. You got a blood debt because you got a lot of blood on your hands. If you've been sitting up here for the past 7 years trying to put death incantations on me, and then the shit is not hitting me, it's hitting other people in our friend circle and in my family, you owe, my nigga. You owe. Let me say that again. Let me grab this microphone, nigga. You owe. You owe. And if there's one thing for certain, two things for sure. You cannot dodge judgment. And if you do bad shit, it come back, make it more confusing. Be shout out to Psychodrama, the Chicago rap group from the 90s. When you do bad shit, it come back, make it more confusing, bitch. And number three, you get what you give. You get what you give, bruh. This goes back to what I was saying about, certain tactics that brothers use today because I guess it's in vogue to be toxic. Oh, I'm toxic. I'm toxic. Niggas walk around talking about I'm toxic. I'm toxic. Nigga, no, you're not. You're just a lame. You know what I'm saying? You're not toxic, man. You're just a lame. But yeah, you are toxic. But people try to use males will try to utilize this toxic strategy. But it's a short term. There's no long term residuals that you can receive from implementing a toxic strategy when dealing with females. You know what I'm saying? I've been a blase, player from the Himalayas since to the mid to late '90s when I started dating. I had my first girlfriend in the seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? And I've never been toxic. I mean, I had my toxic stints where I was doing my girlfriend bad in the ninth grade, ninth and 10th grade. I was cheating on her and shit. You know what I'm saying? Really broke her heart and shit. I apologize, babes. If you out there, reach out to me. You know how to reach me. But I'm smooth, man. I'm a smooth criminal. You know what I'm saying? I'm blue velvet around this motherfucker. These niggas want to be radioactive, and nigga, okay, that's cool. I'll be blue velvet, cause I guarantee you, I'm gonna have more of an impact on every single female that I come in contact that I'm dealing with on that level. I'm gonna have a more greater significant impact on her than your wanna be toxic ass ever will. So even to this day, and it's another thing about this dude, and y'all fellas need to watch this too, man. If especially you young brothers, man, if you dealing with a homeboy of yours who every chick you fuck, he trying to fuck her. He trying to go in behind her. He's utilizing sex magic, kind of how he'll go bring a chick back and set her out, and then let you fuck first, and then he fuck the same way. He using sex magic right there. He's using sex magic in this situation. Like you get a girlfriend, so now he want to, try to mac on her and shit, and fuck on her and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to glean some of your light. It's not just him trying to, in a roundabout way, sexually compete with you. It's not just that. It's that as well. You know what I'm saying? It's some real egotistical shit as well. But it's also sex magic in the sense that he's trying to glean some sort of uh, light from you by using a D bitch in order to do so. You know what I'm saying? So y'all young brothers need to watch out. Those are red flags right there. So if you got a homie who's always trying to set bitches out and bring them back for y'all for the gang to fuck, or and he's also trying to fuck every female that you fuck with, you need to put some space in between you and him. For real. Cut him off. Cut him off. Cut him off. Because he might, fuck around. He go down he go down that rabbit hole, and he go talk to the woo lady. He go talk to the left-handed witch, and she say, well, if you sacrifice him, you'll get these and these. All you gotta do is pay me what, $500, and I'll do it. And he does it. And she does whatever the fuck she does, and lo and behold, you find yourself in some hard times, some hard shit befall you. But yeah, man, we on this thing, man. Talking this shit. At 2 Brutus. Can't believe you, nigga. Can't motherfucking believe you. I seen this shit though. I seen this shit coming, man. I should have known. I should have known. Fellas, y'all see them signs, you better pay attention, man. But yeah, this is Apex, man. 3900, man. Thick gizzle, man. Get up on it. Hey, email in the description. Cash app in the description. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace.